What are your first impressions of the new players you have?
I think really good. I think they've all come in and been able to contribute on the floor immediately. I love their energy and enthusiasm, and I think they're all used to this kind of competition, so it hasn't been a huge jump for them.
Speaking of the summer, how did you want your team to approach this summer? Coming off such a great year and coming into a year where expectations are so high.
Well, it's a crazy summer because we had a lot of players, a lot of our student athletes went off and played for their national teams, including Sabrina and Ruthie at different times. Erin Boley had a 10-week internship at Nike, so she wasn't with us at all. And Lydia Giomi studied abroad. I mean, I think it's important for them to experience those kind of things during their time here. So we made summer school, quite frankly, a little optional. A lot of them took advantage of it at least 1 month of the summer, but they had a lot of alone time, and it shows. We've had some rust, and our first practice 2 days ago was the first time we've been on the court as a team, as a unit, since the Baylor game. So we're way behind most teams right now.
Did you want that mentally, some kind of a break, kind of get away from it for a little bit?
Yes, yeah, I think the break is good. Last year I remember we started practice October 1st. Our last game was April 5th. That's 6 months. I gave them 1 weekend off in October. They had 4 days at Christmas and a few days after the Pac-12 tournament. Sweatshops are giving their employees more time off. So it's a long time to to play with a little rest. So I think the summer is important. I just hope that they're taking care of business and they're not drinking soda pop and eating Cheetos like their coach. So some of them I think did a little bit.
You come into the season, you are starting to see some preseason rankings with you guys #1. What's it like? I mean, not surprising given the buzz coming off of last season. What's it like to actually see some of that in writing and the respect that your program's getting?
Well, I think it's neat at some level. Obviously, people have a high expectations of us, and I think that's great. We have them of ourselves, but I don't think it's going to add any pressure. I mean, I think last year we were picked 3rd. There's not a whole lot of difference. We seem to handle the pressure okay at that. So I've told them to embrace those kind of expectations, expect them, but at the same time just ignore the noise. We got to just grind it out each and every day and keep our heads down and work hard and get better each day, and we know what we're capable of doing. But that's such a long way away.
Granted, it's only been a few days of practice, but how much different is it just between last year where you were a little bit thin number-wise, and then this year it looks like you're 2 or 3 deep at just about every spot on the court? What's that like in, even in preseason like this, knowing people are getting rest?
Yeah, well, it's nice because we have competition at every spot, so they have to battle each and every day, and nothing's given to anybody. And I can go to bed and sleep a little bit better at night knowing that I don't have to worry about who's injured today and what happened. We have still a couple kids banged up, but for the most part we're going to be at full strength most days.
Any update on Sedona at all, or when you might know?
Yeah, Sedona is in the hands of the NCAA. So we've put together a case there, and and it's kind of a wait and see. We're hoping for the best. But we're going to make the most of it regardless.
Cutoff date, a deadline?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think the deadline is whenever the NCAA decides to rule on it, and I'm not going to call them and try to speed it up.
We've heard that Nair is out for the season. I'm not a doctor, but the way she's walking around seems a lot better than she was last year. Is it a little less severe than last year? Or
no, it was still ACL reconstructive surgery. So yeah, it's going to be the same. But I think having been through it now, I think she feels like she can, move a little bit better. I think the first time you do something like that, you don't know what to expect, and now she's kind of been through it.
Satu said one of the messages was that you haven't accomplished anything this year. How important is that to pass along to them and let them know that it's a brand new year with a new team?
Well, I have a way to do that. I get on them. We are not thinking ahead. And it's nice. In fact, I think I've referenced to, I know where you guys are ranked, but you haven't done anything yet. That's already come up a couple times in practice, and I anticipate it'll come up a few times more. You got to just keep your head down and keep working. We got a long way to go. We're nowhere near any kind of a Final Four team now. I mean, we're a long way from that, but we're better than we were a couple days ago. Tomorrow, I anticipate we're going to be better than we were today, and we'll just keep improving. I know that sounds cliche, but it really is how you have to. This is a long race. This is a marathon. So April's a long way away.
Last year you ran the marathon short of bodies. I think you 7 or 8 most of the time. Now you've got more players. Do you anticipate going deeper into your rotation this year? Or do you think that you'll maybe stick with the 7 or 8 that are carrying you?
No, I think we'll go deeper, and we'll go with however many prove that they can play at this level and help us. And again, yeah, it's a long marathon. When you mention marathon, it doesn't look like I've run a marathon, right? So, that's a great analogy, and I think that's what we have to look, and do and think in terms of a long season. We want to be at our best health-wise at the end of the season, and so anytime you can manage minutes, both in practice and during games during the season, I think it helps you, as long as they prove that they're up to the task, and I think they will be, our young kids.
I'm sure you've kept up with the news and SB 206 out of California, the signing of the bill that allows players to profit off their likeness. There's other states within the Pac-12, like Colorado, that are also considering adopting a similar bill. Oregon too. I mean, I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that bill.
I don't know a whole lot about it. I get the parameters. I've always been in favor of whatever's best for the student athletes and allows them to live a better life. I think is okay with me. And whatever happens, does the state have to pass it for it to?
It already passed.
No. But like going forward, they're mandating. That doesn't mean that those schools have to participate. Correct?
Yeah, that's true.
And just because our state, let's say, hasn't done it, I don't know enough about it to say what, if it's not passed in Oregon, does that mean we can't do the same thing that these others can do? If it's NCAA legal? Yeah, there's so many questions. So
well, realistically, it's in the hands of the NCAA and what they decide to do. Well, I'm curious, just with having a player like Sabrina, who probably is the best non-football playing example of someone whose exposure is maximized right now.
Yeah.
What that is like, or what something like that would do for her.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be something that would be good for her and student athletes like her, but that's so far off, and there's going to be a lot of middle ground to be reached before we make any kind of decision. So that's why what I feel about it is really irrelevant, because 2023, my goodness, that's, I'm on borrowed time anyway, so that's a long way out. It's something I know there's going to be some kind of compromise in the middle.
Back to X's and O's.
Yeah.
More of an emphasis on defense this year?
Well, we always have an emphasis there. I think we do a due diligence. We just are so good offensively. When you compare our offense to our defense, it seems like it's way behind, but we're adequate. We do have to get better, no question about it. It's always a work in progress for us, because I recruit offensive players. I'm not recruiting. And we do have Mignon, who has completely changed the tempo, the tenor, everything of practice, and it's awesome. She is a one-person wrecking crew defensively, and so I think that is going to rub off on the rest of our players. So I anticipate we'll be a little bit better there, and we just have to make kind of some small strides, I think, defensively. How
do you approach the offseason, maybe compared to where you guys were last year, coming off of an Elite Eight? You make it to Tampa, you go to the Final Four. Yeah. What feels different, if anything, from where you guys were last year to this year with that run, having had that experience?
Yeah, nothing. I mean, honestly, you forget about it as soon as it's done. You might reflect a little bit here and there throughout the summer, but as coaches, we then put our recruiting hat on, and we're looking towards the future, and then figuring out ways we can make this next team better. But once that's done, it's over, and really, I think you have to compartmentalize that way as a coach, or else you're in big trouble. If we're always looking back, that means we're not going to be prepared for the future. And so, yeah, we turned the page pretty quickly. I'm hoping that the team did as well. They've come back, I think, pretty hungry, and they know what we can accomplish as a team. So I'm really looking forward to getting this sucker going. I mean, we're barely a month away from going live in front of actual people, and we better be looking better than we have the last couple of days, but I'm sure we will.
You mentioned Mignon, and I'm curious because Sabrina also mentioned her too, and just had 3 days of practice. Yeah. But when you have a team like yours that did accomplish a lot last year, and you bring in someone who's also played at a high level, what is the key to kind of transitioning her in and finding chemistry with her team relatively quickly? Because like you said, you have a month or so until.
Yeah. Well, I know she wants it. She really is trying to fit in. And I know she has taken it upon her to really kind of set the defensive tone, but she is really excited to be here. This is big for her. You know, she wants to be part of a winning program. She wants to be playing with really elite players. I mean, just think of the players she's surrounding herself with. It's incredible. Nothing, you know, she's never been anywhere near that before. So she is very open to it. She's very coachable. I mean, she wants to learn. She's in here shooting before and after practice. You know, and she knows that she's got to fit in with the rest of the crew. She's got to be able to knock down an open three and those kind of things. But she's going to give us a dynamic even offensively that we don't have. We don't have anybody that can attack the basket and attack the paint like she does. And, you know, so she's going to help us in lots of different ways. And I know she's excited for that opportunity.
You mentioned Mignon. Replacing Maite won't be easy. Like, who else is kind of in competition for that spot?
I think our guard line is really good, you guys. Jazz Shelley, and I know you had her on here before. I think Jazz is terrific. You know, she has played at a high level. She's used to big-time competition. She, you know, the moment's not going to be too big for her. She's a real cerebral player, and those are the kind we really like. And so I think she's going to give us a lot of really quality minutes and give a run at that point guard spot. I think Holly Winterburn, you guys, is really good. She is really good. She's aggressive and physical and a really good shooter, attacks the basket, so she can, you know, really give us some added depth, and I anticipate she's going to get a lot of time. Taylor Chavez looks good. I mean, really good right now. Morgan Yeager looks, I mean, we have a lot of depth at the guard line.
Could you see yourself maybe going 4 guards at times this season?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think there are going to be times we're going to go 5 guards.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past us. I mean, we're going to spread people out. We're going to play a fun style. And what we've done, we've tweaked some things offensively that I think will allow us to go with a small lineup at times. And then if you get somebody like Sedona back, you know, great passer, nice feel for the game, shoots the ball from the perimeter well. She's the whole package. So we can go with a couple of bigs. I mean, we can go 2-3 zone. We got Satu, Ruthie, Sedona on the back line. That's as big a back line and an athletic a group as you're ever going to see. So I'm throwing this out here for all our competition. We're going to zone. We're talking man. We're going big. We're going small. So, you know.
But you seem excited with the options.
I do. As a coach, it's great. Just give us options. We got a lot of positionless players. I mean, you know, there could be times we go Satu at the 5 and Aaron at the 4. And now we put 5 shooters on the court, and we become really difficult to defend. So, for me, it's kind of where we wanted the program to be, and the kind of players that, you know, that we're comfortable and enjoy coaching, and the kind of style that we like to play. So you put that all together, and I think it's going to be a fun year, really fun year.
Just putting aside like some of the goals that people are, you know, putting on you guys and your team, is there anything that you're really looking for, especially early in the season, to kind of see out of your team?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a great dinner at Bepe's tonight, and you know, which is always a great way to start the week, although it's midweek. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can evolve into as a basketball team. I just think there's so many opportunities to have a great year and to really, I think, make this a special team. And we're people like us, I think, all over. I mean, the number of calls and emails and texts and DMs and everything, people who follow our team and like our team and want to know about our team and how we do things, it's incredible. And I like that. I think we are really adding to the game of basketball, not just women's basketball, but to the game of basketball. We are the way we play. The unselfish nature, the positionless style, the pick and roll efficiency is, you know, I think is a lot of people are taking notice. And I like that. I think that's great. We want to be a standard that other teams and other, you know, men and women, you know, can aspire to.